I'm meteorologist Chrissy Kohler. Living in the low country certainly has its perks, including some exciting weather I've been able to cover over the last year, including thunderstorms that caused flooding in downtown Charleston, the arrival of Hurricane Irma to the east coast of South Carolina, an icing event, and just a week later, a historic snowstorm.
It's all mixed across the low country this morning. We're not seeing much in the way of straight liquid precipitation because the temperatures are just a little too cold. The radar is picking up on what could be a little bit of snow up around Murrells Inlet down 17 towards Georgetown. Now the radar this morning has been picking up on stuff that's not making it all the way to the ground. So just be aware that this could be painting a little more dire picture than what we're actually seeing at ground level. But certainly if you're seeing something in your neighborhood, we'd love to hear about it. As we take a look a little further off to the west around St. Stephen, as you travel 52 down towards Monk's Corner, this is a freezing rain, maybe mixed with a little bit of sleet there showing up on the radar. And then as you look a little further to the south, Somerville up towards Goose Creek, North Charleston into West Ashley, down towards James and Johns Island into Hollywood, back towards Walterboro. We've got that freezing rain falling. So that's rain that's falling as liquid. So most of you, if you're out and about driving, aren't going to notice it necessarily on your windshield. It's not going to be those ice pellets necessarily mixing in. It's going to look like liquid on your windshield. But then when you look down at the ground, you've got that icy glaze. And that's what we're most concerned about, is that some of these areas that some of you folks are going to be driving through this morning could be a little on the slick side.
We are growing more and more confident that we are going to see at least something all across the low country during the day tomorrow. Right now, it's nice and quiet out there. We're not expecting anything through the day ahead. In fact, a lot of sunshine on tap. The temperatures today are the big story, but tomorrow we shift our focus to that potential for some wintry weather. We actually may see a wind chill advisory tomorrow morning along the Charleston County coastline as well. So it's going to be a chilly start to the day, but then we talk about this chance for some precipitation. 7 o'clock in the morning, we've got an increase in cloud cover. It's mostly cloudy to start off the day. We may be seeing a little bit of light precipitation here, but notice what happens as this starts to move up out of southeast Georgia. It comes in as a wintry mix. It's not likely we're going to see much in the way of rain tomorrow. This is going to start out as a little bit of sleet, maybe some freezing rain along the coastline, even a few snowflakes back towards that I-95 corridor. And it does look like we're going to see a mess along the coastline during the early part of the day tomorrow. It's starting off that way, and then that snow line pushes out towards the coastline as we head into the afternoon hours, and then we get that switch over. But with anything that falls, whether it's freezing rain or even a little bit of sleet, that increases our potential to see icy roads tomorrow morning. So I do think this is looking like a pretty messy setup for the day on Wednesday, and it does look like the majority of this comes during the daylight hours tomorrow. 3 o'clock is when we're starting to see that snow line along the coastline, and that's also where we're expecting our highest snowfall potential. It starts to lift up to the north as we head towards 5 o'clock, moving north of I-26 up into the PD as we look towards 6, 7 o'clock, and then up into North Carolina. So the system moves fairly quickly out of here.
And as you travel around King Street here in downtown Charleston, it's really common to see signs like this. Business is closed for the protection of not just the owners, but also the employees. And on top of that, we've got a lot of buildings with big glass windows. Common to see these boards covering those windows as an extra precaution. But what's really important here is these sandbags. And we've seen a lot of these throughout the downtown area. And these are so important because of what Josh was just talking about, with that potential for the flooding as well as the potential for the storm surge as well. So 3 things we're taking into account when we talk about that elevated storm surge. We're in a higher than normal high tide cycle right now. We're expecting those onshore winds, those very persistent onshore winds during the day tomorrow, as well as the rain forecast Josh was just mentioning. Anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of rain, which on a normal day would cause issues, especially here in downtown Charleston. All 3 of those things combined means we've got that high concern for the storm surge issues in downtown and especially along the coastline. Well, the good news, Octavia, is that the rain has stopped here in downtown. You can see I've got the hood off here, but that doesn't mean that the damage hasn't been done. You're taking a look right now at where we are in downtown Charleston. We're at the corner of, back behind me here is the corner of UG and King Street is that intersection. So I'm going to step out of the way so Nick can show you what's going on back here behind me. We've got 3 different cars that are actually stuck in the floodwaters here. They tried to make it through to the other side and were unable to. We had a gentleman working on the car furthest back by that traffic light there just a few moments ago. He had his pants rolled up to his leg because he's wading through those floodwaters.